Hey guys, welcome to your fourth video. I am super excited to share my favorite principle with you guys. Today I'm going to be talking about the law of attraction, aka manifestation, and how you can start to use it to seriously build the life of your dreams and start paying attention to it and start making magic happen before your eyes. Well, it's not really magic, but it kind of seems that way once you start paying attention to it. So, the law of attraction states like attracts like. And this is something that happens. It is a law, it's quantum physics. You can do more research into it if you like. There are enough videos on the science behind the law of attraction. What I want to teach you is how to pay attention to it and how to start using the principles to change your life and live more fulfilled and abundant and attract everything you love into your life instead of what you don't want. We'll kick those things out of your life. So as like attracts like, how do I say, what we think about, everything that we've created in our lives, we've always thought about first. So pretty much everything that we see outside of our lives, the fruit of our life, our relationships, our careers, everything we've created has always started in our mind and our thoughts and what we think about all day long. And if we think about what we want or what type of mate we want or what type of job we want or the things we like to do, these are the things that get the ball rolling. These types of thoughts get the ball rolling, if that makes sense. Sorry guys, I'm outside in my backyard because it's amazing, but sometimes there's mosquitoes. So yeah, our thoughts are the wheels that get our manifestations rolling. So manifestation doesn't always mean it's a positive thing. We can manifest negative things into our lives. For example, I believe I used to manifest a lot of negative experiences into my life. One thing because that's what I believed I deserved, and that's what I expected from having a lot of negative experiences as a child and being exposed to abuse and negativity. I saw a pattern later in the types of relationships and people I was attracting into my life, and it didn't start to change until I made a conscious decision in my thoughts, like, this is not what I want. So what I need to do is, instead of thinking about what I don't want all day long, I had to replace it with what I do want. So when you think about what you don't want or your fears, because you're spending time creating that energy, that is what you are manifesting into your life. But if you can take that and do the opposite and think about what you do want. So I do want to live in Hawaii. Like, living in Hawaii was one thing that I feel me and my husband manifested because we took the steps, which was we made a decision to move to Hawaii, and we didn't know exactly how we were going to do it all, and financially that's obviously a big issue, and we weren't sure exactly how everything was going to take place, but we made the decision and we started thinking, I want to live in Hawaii, I want to live in Hawaii, I'm moving to Hawaii, I'm moving to Hawaii. So this repetition of thoughts started creating the experience on the outside. So you guys see where I'm going with this? Every invention, everything ever created now began with a single thought in someone's mind. So you see how powerful your thinking is. So if you have a life that you're not crazy about and you're not happy with, this is the only way it's going to change is in here. So it's not anyone's fault. It's not how you grew up. It's not your parents' fault. It's not your boyfriend's fault. It's no one's fault. What it is it's just the fruit of what you've been thinking about all day long. So how do we practice to start living the life of our dreams, getting more of what we want instead of what we don't want? We don't think about what we don't want. But how can I tell you not to think about something? Because if I tell you not to think about a purple elephant, you're going to instantly think about that purple elephant, right? So the trick is to replace that thought with something you do want, something you do want to think on, the positive thought you want to replace with the negative thought. So that's how you do it. What I love doing is a journal activity, which I highly encourage you to do, because it's one thing to think about what you want. It's another to start writing about it and writing it down. That is like step 2 in the co-creation process with the universe, with God. You are literally like, for those of you who are more spiritual or religious, you know, you'll believe that there's a higher power, as God created everything, God created you. So if you're a child of a higher power, if you're a child of God, that makes you a creator as well, because God created and he gave birth to you in a sense spiritually. So you can create with God. You can do as what God has done. He's giving you the powers. He's giving you the mind. He's giving you the thoughts. And all you have to do is really just ask for them, really. So the first step in the journal process that I'd like to give you guys, which is what I've done daily for a really long time. I'll get into that later, but I want to tell you guys about the process real quick. So you're going to get in your journal and you're going to make a list of the things you want in your life, the things you want to see happen in your life, the things you want right now. So that could be money for rent, coffee, new clothes, a new laptop. Like, they have to be things that you actually want. Don't just name random things that you're like, oh, this would be nice to have. Like, really think about your true desires in your heart, because you're worthy of them and they're there for a reason. And when you are serving your highest self, when you are really truly following your desires and your calling, and you're overflowing with that joy that comes from that, it's really going to flow to everyone else around you. You being blessed is going to bless everyone else around you. So writing down your list is you asking for what you want. I want these things in my life. I've made a decision. Be as specific as possible as you can. I know sometimes I can't be super specific because I may not know exactly everything I want concerning that detail, but just be as specific as you can, because that kind of allows the universe to know, like, where to deliver it, if that makes sense. For example, you know, when you go to a restaurant and you're gonna order food, and if you're sitting there really indecisive, the waiter doesn't know what to get you. So you tell the waiter, hey, just bring me your favorite dish, right? Because you don't know what you want. But then the waiter brings their dish to you and you end up hating it. It's because you took what somebody else wanted and you weren't being specific about your own desire. So in your journal, I want you to get really specific about your desire. And I want you to make desires that you actually believe, if you imagined it happening, that it could happen. I say actually believe it could happen, but anything is possible. I mean, that's what I believe. Anything is possible. And I believe if you have a desire in your heart, that is definitely possible, because it was put there for a reason. It was put there for a purpose. So because it's there makes it possible. Nothing is impossible, okay? So believe that what you desire is actually possible. And I want you to sit there in that moment and feel deeply how it would feel to actually receive that desire. What things in your life would change? What would it look like? How would you feel? Feeling your desire is going to allow you to manifest this so much quicker into your life, because it's feeling real, and everything physically around you is going to start to align with that. And after you ask, you believe it, the next step is receiving. So when I say receive, I say let go of the desire. You don't necessarily need to be thinking about it constantly or hold on to it really tight. You just state your cause. You state what you want and you let it go. It even might be best to forget all about it, because sometimes when we think about something too hard or want it too much, it creates a lot of resistance and it actually goes the opposite direction. So let it go, let it happen in its timing. And every time that desire comes up and you're really worried about how it's going to happen or how it's going to play out, I encourage you to counsel yourself. You don't have to know how it's going to happen. There may be an inspired action that you will have to take to kind of get there. By inspired action, I mean something that's natural. So when you figure out something you want, and you get an idea of how to get it, take that first step. Do your part and let God and the universe do the rest for you. Trust me, guys, this stuff is amazing, and I have been working it for a really long time. I've actually known about it for years now, but I haven't started seriously practicing it since the last year. And as evidence to this, I want to share a few things in my life that I've manifested. Last year when I was pregnant with my second daughter, I really wanted to have a home birth, but everything said it was expensive and it would be thousands of dollars to get a midwife. Well, my husband had lost his job. We didn't have thousands of dollars to invest in a midwife, but I felt I deserved one. As a mother, I didn't believe I should have whatever birth experience happened to me. Like, I didn't believe I had to be in a hospital if I didn't want to. And there were many reasons why I wanted the birth I wanted, and I believed I was worthy and I deserved it. Every single day, because this was such a huge test of my faith, I struggled daily to not fear. I struggled daily to wonder how the money would come about to even do this. And I struggled to know where the midwife would come from. So to increase my faith every single day, I wrote down in my journal exactly how I wanted my childbirth to go. That I wanted a midwife and the money to pay for her and everything I needed. And to let you guys know, at the end of the day, looking back months later, it turned out absolutely incredible. It was safe, nothing went wrong. I ended up having a midwife in my RV, was able to give birth how I wanted. It was completely peaceful. My baby was given directly to me. Like, I literally grabbed her out of the water onto my chest. It was the most amazing experience of my life, and I'm extremely grateful. That is another concept. We talked about gratitude in one of the other videos, where when you're writing down your desires and you're working through this process that I'm talking about, feeling the desire. And I also want you to start thinking about how grateful you'd be if you receive this thing that you desire. Gratitude is the magic ingredient to making this just amazing and making it happen quicker. I don't know how other way to explain it, but you need to be grateful for everything you have now and everything you could have, everything you desire. I even said thank you at the end of each journal entry when I wrote down the desires for a midwife. That, by the way, somehow I did not end up having to pay for the midwife. I actually ended up getting money back. So that's pretty miraculous. And then the other manifestation, there's a lot of small ones, but I wanted to share with you two of the bigger ones. The second one was moving to Hawaii, because this move has not been easy. And mentally, we had to prepare for a long time to do it. And we really had to just continue to build up that desire and feel how it would feel to be here. And we did our part. We sold everything and we got rid of our items, but there was a part that we couldn't control, like buyers for our RV and the car dealership buying back our car and the finances to survive here. And the universe has definitely done his part, or God, or whoever you want to call it. I don't push my spirituality on anyone. I just share with you guys what works for me, and I feel like God's always done his part. I feel like he's always provided for us, and I truly believe with all my heart. He says to ask for what we desire, and I believe that when we receive and do these things that we love, that we are blessing those around us, and we are glorifying God in the process, and we are sharing these amazing principles with other people so that they can live more abundant, more fulfilling lives. So I hope you guys learned something from this video today. This is by far my favorite subject. I think about it every single day, and I'm constantly asking myself, what am I manifesting into my life? Is this what I want? How can I change my life? And my life has turned out more amazing than I could ever expect. I grew up from an environment that was very negative, and there was a lot of abuse. I had a broken family. I dealt with a lot of emotional, mental issues because of it. And now I have an amazing family. I have a great husband. I have 2 beautiful daughters, and I live in my favorite place in the whole world, in Hawaii, and right on a bay where the water is. And you may be able to hear it right now, and hear birds when I wake up. And I even manifested my laptop that I wanted to work on for work. I kept thinking about it for months, and I wrote it down on my list. I need a new laptop for work, something that will do everything I need it to do for work. And it just happened. So don't be afraid to ask for what you want, guys. It's not selfish. It's not anything. Like, you are as worthy as anyone else is to have what they want and what you want. Don't be afraid to ask, and always say thank you, and be grateful, and be ready to receive your desires.